So, how are you feeling these days? Not so great? Kind of dragging through the day? Watching the clock to see when you can go home? Just not enthusiastic about work so much? You know, it could be burnout. And that's today's topic. Welcome to Ask the Resume Lady, Engineering Edition, your channel for career advice on resumes, interviews, negotiations, and more. Hi, I'm Diane Karszosowski, and I'm an engineering professional with over 20 years experience in industry. And during that time, I enjoyed helping mentor people in building their confidence and growing in their career. I did that by sharing my advice with them. And I'm super excited to be sharing my advice here with you today. All right, if this content sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon so that each time that I post a new video, you get notified. All right, let's get to today's topic. In today's video, I want to talk about the term burnout. And by definition, it's having experienced for an extended period of time emotional, physical, and or mental exhaustion. Okay, so now that we know that, now let's ask yourself, are you heading to burnout? Or do you know of anybody else that might be heading down that path? Well, here are a couple things to look for to kind of determine if this might apply to you. You've noticed every day is a bad day. And this has been going on for a long time because the definition is extended period. You feel like nothing you do makes a difference or is appreciated. Your motivation is declining. You spend a lot of your time on tasks that are either very monotonous or so complex and intense and overwhelming, and it's either the extremes. Either it's just boring or it's just too much. If you've been feeling stress from that for an extended period of time, you might be heading towards burnout. So if you can see the flags now, that's the best time to catch it and make some adjustments. So some of the symptoms fall under a couple categories: physical, emotional, and behavioral. So think of physical. You might experience more frequent illnesses, not feeling so good on a regular basis. On the emotional side, you might notice yourself having a more negative outlook towards people at work, projects at work, just things in general. Also, you can have on the behavioral side, you might find yourself skipping work or coming in late, leaving early. This might indicate some of those flags also. Those are some of the symptoms. So what causes these things? What makes you want to stop coming into work, come in late, and just drag yourself in? Well, some of the causes, they also have a couple different categories. So in the job site, maybe you have a super demanding job and it drains your energy, and it's by the time you get home, you have nothing left. Maybe it's that you work too much and you don't have that life-work balance to where you have that time to relax, chill out, hang out with the family, friends, take vacations. Another one could be more of an individual thing, like perfectionist. If you're a perfectionist, that can really take a toll on you because you're constantly wanting it to be better and better and better and the best that it can be. And not too many things in life are extremely perfect all the time. So that can really drag on you. So I've had some experiences in this situation where whatever I do, I put my all into it. That's my personality, and I put everything in it. And at one of my jobs, I kept giving and giving and working and hard, and it just I wasn't reaping the benefits of my effort, and it was just draining me. And I'd go home, I'd sit on the couch. Actually, on the way home, I'd pick up some food, go home, we would just eat, and then sit on the couch. And I would jokingly tell people I'd just sit there and I'd zone out like a zombie. There was just nothing left for me to give at home. And at first it was just a fun story to tell people, but then I noticed I was telling the story more and more, and I'm like, my gosh, it's been a long time since I've had energy to go hang out in the garden, to go for a bike ride, do any of those things. And so I was starting to see the flags myself. In another story, another friend of mine, she had a really demanding job, and it was high stress, very high expectations given from leadership, and also there was a lot of walking involved because it was a really large building. And what she noticed over time is not being able to meet those unrealistic expectations from management, and stressing and trying to do your best, and keep going and going. And slowly what happened is, and she's doing all this walking, slowly it got to be where she couldn't walk without a walker. And then it got to the point where she couldn't even walk that way. She had to get a wheelchair, and she's wheeling herself around from place to place. And at that point, a bunch of us got together and said, hey, you know what? I think this is hurting you more than it's helping you. You may want to consider changing jobs. And that's what she decided to do. She did change jobs. And I kid you not, a couple months after she quit, she got her new job, and guess what? She's not in the wheelchair anymore. She doesn't have to use a walker anymore. That to me was an example of how much stress and burnout can affect you, not just mentally, but physically. It really changes your body. So now that we know symptoms, some of the causes, some stories, what about what to do? Well, here's a couple things. First, preventative measures are always the best, because you don't want to get to that burnout stage. It's not fun. But until you do, look for those symptoms, look for those flags and causes, and try to adjust your behaviors and try to get rid of some of those stressors if possible. Another thing you can do is reach out to friends. Talk to them, just like we talked with this other lady, and come to the consensus. Get some other ideas, because sometimes when you're in it, you can't even focus. You just don't have anything to give anymore. Refocus your attention. This was something I had received advice on, from mindfulness. I don't know if you guys know what mindfulness is, but it's focusing on being in the moment, here and now. Don't worry about the future. Don't think about the past, because you can't change it. Focus here. So that's one. Another thing you can do is reevaluate your priorities. And that could be, do I really need to be at this job? Do I want to spend more time with family? Whatever your priorities are, but look at them and go, yeah, I need to make a change. This next one, I had a hard time with, because what it is they say, go exercise, get moving. And I'm like, I barely have energy to do anything, so now I'm supposed to exercise. And wow, it works. I finally got myself just moving a little bit. Once I got moving, I'd do a little more, and it really does pick up your mood. So I do highly suggest trying to get yourself moving. Also, review your diet. Maybe some of the food you're eating is making you lethargic also, which isn't helping you try to get out of that burnout mode. So take a look at that. So there's a lot in this video, but I want to share with you something that worked for me. It got me off that point and actually made my big change. I had come across a quote from Steve Jobs, and I printed it out and I put it on my mirror in my bathroom. And so every day when I wake up, I look at this. So I'm going to share it with you now. So from Steve Jobs, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. And I had it on my mirror for about 3 months, and then I made my change, because I needed to make a change. So I hope sharing this information with you has helped you, and maybe not for you, but maybe somebody else that you know of is going through similar situation and you see the flags in them. So please share this video with them. Leave me some comments in the section below, and I would love to hear if this helped you or not. So until next time, think confident, act confident, be confident.